Yeah, hello guys, welcome back again with new day and with a new topic. So today's topic is constructor functions. So today I will ask each of you three questions. Yeah. So my advice to all of you that you need to give a brief and cut to cut answer. Okay. Whatever the question I will ask from you. So you just need to give a brief or cut to cut answer. Don't try to deep dive into that question. Okay, just give a brief answer. Yeah, so don't waste any more time. Just go with our interview round. So first question is goes to Supriya. Supriya, your question is just tell me uh, what is constructor function in JavaScript?
Okay. So constructor function is a special type of function which helps you avoid writing multiple types of object in JavaScript because it has got a syntax that it provides you a proper blueprint of any function, and then you can write any new keys and value pairs inside it after writing the function. So this is the use of constructor function, and it definitely avoids our work to write multiple objects. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you are right. Basically, constructor function is a blueprint by which we can make several objects from that. Okay. Yeah. So second question is, uh, what are- uh, what is the use of constructor function? Why we use constructor function? So second question is from Karan. What are the use of constructor functions? Karan, you are mute. You are mute.
Okay, so the basic use of constructor function, like why we use it. So it is basically used to minimize our code. Like when we are creating different multiple objects with the same key value pairs, like values may be different, but same keys. So it becomes too much lengthy and your code becomes too much complex. So that's why constructor functions are introduced so that we can minimize the code. We can simply call the constructor function and we can create that instance or that method and properties we want in a function, and then we can simply create any object with only one line code, and it saves us time and lines also, like the lines of code is minimized because of constructor function. So that's the basic use of constructor function.
Yeah. Thank you, Karan. So basically, with the help of constructor function, we can optimize our code. Okay. Yeah. So second question is goes to Vijay Lakshmi. Vijay, let me just tell us about what is the syntax of constructor function, why we create constructor functions, and how it is different from usual functions.
Okay. Uh, fun- Functions are it is a similar to the functions, but there is a some keywords are we are using. These keywords is using in that, and syntax of the constructor function is a function, and which we want to create the con- function and keyword that is in parenthesis, and in curly bracket we can write which is a initializes object, that is this dot name is equal to whatever name. Suppose I will give one example that uh, function and person is my constructor function. In parenthesis, in curly bracket we write this dot name is equal to, suppose my name is Vijaya, and this dot age is equal to 25. From that we create the uh, object. Also we passing the argument we are that like also we create.
Yeah, thank you, Vijay Lakshmi. Basically, I asked you what are the syntax of constructor function, how it is different from uh, normal functions. So, and you also
Okay.
told us about that what are the use of this.
Mm.
Uh, okay, so no
Yes.
worries. So try to be precise or cut to cut answer. Okay. So
Yes.
now
Yes,
it's
sir.
time for mine. Mine, your question is, what are the methods in our constructor function?
Okay, so methods in constructor function. So basically, how we write a method in object similar to this, we can use like a this dot and whatever we want to give a name. This dot like a my function and it and as a value we can pass any function, any anonymous function, and also we can use dot call, dot apply, dot bind. So this is basically how we created methods in construct function by using this dot and name following what we want to do, and the in value we can pass this anonymous function.
Yeah, I think you are not totally correct. So yeah, at the last I will tell you what are the main thing in comes in methods in constructor function. Okay. Now it's time for Amit. So Amit, your question is what are the use of this keyword? Why we use this keyword?
Okay. So while declaring a constructor function, we use this just to point the parent object that is going to be made using that constructor function. So in that constructor function, we mostly use this to assign, I mean, this is just pointing to the object that is going to be created using that constructor function. So while using this, we can assign multiple properties and method to that object, and when we initiate that constructor function, then whatever value we pass as a parameter, then those parameter will be introduced to that constructor function as a property. So this is basically pointing to the parent object, and this also helps to initiate the object with the help of new. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Amit. Now it's time for again Supriya. Supriya, your question is just tell us about what are the use of new keyword?
Okay. So new keyword is used as a syntax in constructor function. Like whenever you create a constructor function, firstly you write function, and after it you directly call that function. And inside it you write like suppose you write var name is equals to new, and inside it the values which you want that your object should contain. The new keyword simply helps you redirect all those things into the console, because if you are not writing the new keyword, it will not show you the values whichever you have written inside your bracket in the console system. So new keyword is a thing which helps you redirect it to the console. Yeah.
Yeah, it is little bit unclear for me. But in brief, I'll tell you what are the use of new keyword. Basically, new keywords give me like feature to make a new instance of that object. Okay. So with the help of new keyword, we can make several instance of that particular with the help of that particular constructor function. Okay. Now it's time for Karan again. So Karan, your question is just tell us about what is semantic and non-semantic HTML. What are the difference
Okay.
between semantic and
Okay.
non-semantic HTML?
Semantic estimate, semantic tags you are talking about.
Semantic HTML and non-semantic HTML. What are the difference between both of them?
Okay, so I will tell you what I know. So, according to me, semantic tags are a type of tags, which are usually like they do not have any specific word, but they are usually passed so that it defines the web page properly. Like if we are giving header, so there is specific semantic tag for that header, and so it refers to header only. It did not like it is not used for anything, but there is no specific use for it, but we use it so that web page can understand, browser can understand what we are writing. So those are semantic text like a header, footer, nav, and all these texts are semantic text. And then there are non-semantic text which we simply use like div, like it can be div, p tag, image tag, and they are different texts. So that is the basic difference between semantic and non-semantic text. So semantic texts are only so that browser can understand, and it will give us like it will refer a website more to the user. So that's why, and it will also like it will also make a website faster. So that is the
Yeah,
basic use of semantic tags.
yeah, Karan, you are right. But you said semantic tag. I asked you what is semantic HTML and non-semantic HTML. But you are right. So I'll tell you in brief. So basically, when we use these types of tag like header tag, footer tag, nav tag. So when we make
Okay.
a web page by using these types of tags, so these types of web page, you browser can easily read it, or as you is also good in these types of web pages. So these types of HTML and web pages are called semantic HTML. Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
non-semantic when we use div, and span. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is this. These are the basic different both of them. Okay. Now it's time for Vijay Lakshmi. So Vijay Lakshmi, your question is how we can prevent form uh, from its default behavior. How can we prevent from its default behavior? Actually, form has its one default behavior. How can we prevent from that?
Sorry, I don't know this answer. How can?
Okay, no worries. Now, question goes to mine. Mine just tell us about how can we prevent form's default behavior.
Okay, so we can handle the form by using the like a on submit. When we don't want to use like a on submit, we run a one function handle submit, and we need to handle the submitting. So we use here like a e dot prevent default and parentheses. So by using this, we can handle the submit, because when we don't use this, so our form data just come for 1 second and go out. So this is the default behavior of form. So and we need to handle it. So we use e.prevent default, and by using this, we can the data is don't go in a 1 second. It stay with us. So this.
Yeah, mine, you are right. Yeah, guys, give me 1 second.
I start.
Hello, guys. Yeah, now it's time for Amit. So Amit, your question is little bit different. So your question is basically what is OOPS, object-oriented programming? How you can understand object-oriented programming?
Okay, so object-oriented programming is a kind of paradigm, we can say, in programming world. Most of the programming language are based on this concept. What object-oriented programming is that in object-oriented programming, we are mostly dealing with the object itself. We can create functions, we can create arrays and other data types using the array itself. Like array is the root element or root property, we can say. It is a building block upon which all the other data types or all the other components are made up of. In the If we take JavaScript for example, so object is the root, we can say the root element, and from that object we are hierarchically derived the other functions or other objects or other methods. Anything that has we have been using till now are derived from that object itself, from the root object. So whichever programming language are trying or implementing this concept or implementing this approach can be called as object oriented programming languages. Yeah, and other programming language which doesn't follow this concept are non OOPS. So this was the OOPS concept and all about OOPS.
Yeah, thank you, Umar. So this is what I expect from you. Yeah, great. So basically, I'll tell you in simple words, object-oriented programming is a paradigm. Or in simple word, if I can tell you, so object-oriented programming is a way of coding, like how you code. So basically, object-oriented programming is a paradigm. Or I'll tell you what is paradigm. Paradigm basically uh, programming paradigms are a way to classify programming languages based on their features. So we can classify programming languages based on their features. This is called programming paradigm. So programming languages are like we can write a code in OOPS, object-oriented programming, functional programming, and procedural programming. There are several ways of writing codes. So this is one of them, OOPS, object-oriented program. Yeah. So that was great. Now it's time for Supriya again. So Supriya, your question is, if we use this keyword, like alone this keyword, we make a function and we pass this keyword alone. So what is this called? Can you tell us?
Yes. This, if you are calling it alone, then definitely it will refer you as window object. A window object simply means where all the methods whichever can be used are already mentioned. If you are using alone, because alone this also refers to the global object. Yeah, that's
Yeah. You are absolutely right. One follow-up question for you. let's suppose there is a function my name and parenthesis. Inside the function, we have console.log this. So what are the result of this function? What is the output of this function?
Okay, so it will render you to the parent object, which is your variable on which you have defined it.
Here you are not correct, but your explanation was correct. So here this refers to a global object. Okay. So
Okay.
basically along this always refers to a global object. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Supriya. Now it's time for Karan. So Karan, just tell us about what is call.
Okay, so basically, call is a method we use to call any object, like any constructor function. Used to call any any object which is made up by constructor function. Uh, by using call, we can simply call anything, like call. There, we can call functions simply by parentheses, but by using dot call method, we can access many other objects also. Like we can access many objects in one time inside parentheses. So that's call
Uh,
method.
yeah, Karan. So you are little bit, I think, not perfect
Yeah,
answer,
yeah. I got
but
confused.
yeah. So now it's time for yeah. Basically, first we gave a chance to Mine. Mine, just tell us about what is call.
Okay, so basically, dot call method is useful for when on a page use it for a function. Like I have a function and I need to pass the and inside that function we use the this keyword and we need to give this to like any object. So basically, it's a dot call and dot call the first parameter should be object and after we need to pass any other parameters according to requirement. So what the object we have passed, so that object property inherited by that function, and in that function we use this keyword. So this dot name equal to what the name inside that particular object. So now this function refer to that particular object only. So this is what call method in function in JavaScript.
Yeah, great, Mine. So Karan, I give you
Hmm.
uh, other question.
Okay, okay.
So yeah. So your question is uh, uh, what are the CSS selectors? I mean, broadly, how many selectors we have in CSS? How broadly, how can we categorize CSS selectors?
Okay. Selectors are using to select any tag or any element from the HTML. Okay, and there are different selectors. There are ID selectors, there are class selectors, there are tag selector. Then there are global selectors also. Then there are multiple selectors we can use directly. Okay, first of all, there is child selector, there is sibling selector, and like there are many selectors we can use to access any element from the HTML, so that we can design it, we can style it with the help of CSS. So that are selectors.
Yeah, Karan. So basically, you are correct, but you are not totally correct. I'll tell you why. So I ask you a question. How can we broadly classify selectors and CSS? So if we talk about broadly, how can we classify selectors and CSS? So there are five types of selectors we can broadly classified into our CSS. So first is simple selectors. Inside simple selectors, we have select elements based on ID, class, and a name.
Yeah,
Second is combinator selectors.
yeah.
Selectors element based on a specific relationship between them.
Okay,
Third is pseudo class selectors. With the help of pseudo class selector, we
okay,
can select element based on a certain state. Fourth is
okay,
pseudo element selector. Pseudo element selector, basically with the help of this, we can select and style a part of an element. And last, fifth is attribute selector. With the help of attribute selector, we can select element based on an attribute or attribute values. I hope you guys are understanding.
okay. Can you give me example how to use attribute selector? Like I
Uh,
don't know, I am listening first time about
yeah,
it.
I'll give you example at last. Yeah.
Okay, at last.
So I hope you guys are understand. So broadly, we have five types of selectors. Okay. So inside that we have selectors. You talk about some selectors, but you are not go with broadly how we classified 5 types of selectors
Okay.
this is. Yeah.
हाँ.
Now it's time for Vijay Lakshmi. Yeah, so Vijay Lakshmi, your question is yeah guys. So now it's time for Vijay Lakshmi. Your question is tell us about dot apply method in JavaScript. Dot apply.
What's
Dot apply. Call, bind, apply. There are 3 methods in JavaScript if you know about. So
sorry, I don't know,
you
sir.
don't have an okay. I'll change the question for you. Just tell us about properties of constructor function. What are the properties that we have in constructor functions? Or you can say qualities of constructor function, features of constructor function, whatever you have. I think you don't have any idea. Okay.
Yes.
So now it's time for Amit. Amit, just tell us about what is the dot apply and dot bind method in JavaScript.
Okay, so dot apply and dot bind methods are simply methods that are called upon any function, we can say. So what it does, it calls the function, whatever function we are applying to, and if we talk about the call method, sorry, apply method, then what it takes is the first arguments inside the parenthesis is referred to the object itself. So the first we need to pass any object, and after the next parameters, we can give any parameters, whatever parameters that a function is requiring. So it will call that function using that object as its parent, or we can say the yes parent, and the parameters whatever we have been given can be taken for that object to for that function to be called. What bind does is it does the same thing. It also takes one function, takes one object as a first parameter, and the second parameters onwards it takes the parameters, whatever usual parameters we have, but it just stores the function invocation inside a variable. So we need to declare one variable just for the invocation storage. And in future, if we want to call that function, then we just need to call that variable as if it is a function. So that function invocation is stored inside a variable which can be called in future.
Yeah, Amit. So well answered. Yeah. Now it's time for wrap up our meet. So you guys are doing great answers. So yeah, now it's time for making the winner, announcing the winner of the interview session. So no doubt, Amit, shout out goes to Amit. Amit is the winner of the meet. Okay. So guys, yeah, we will meet you guys again tomorrow. Yeah, we are going to end up this session, guys. Yeah, stay healthy, stay free practicing, and yeah, keep following us. And just go in comment box and comment who is your favorite contestant, who is your favorite member in the group. Yeah, guys, bye.
Bye.